Okay, this is part 2 because my batteries went dead in the camcorder. So anyway, I'll take this apart in part 3. Now, once you change this, when I was trying to change this component, when I was trying to change this thing, what happened was I couldn't get it into the hole that it came out of with the new one, because this flat area wasn't in the right spot, and I thought I could just turn it and stick it in there and then turn this component where I wanted and put the bolts in and bolt it in, but I couldn't, because this thing is attached to a worm drive in there and gears, and you cannot turn it. And I didn't want to turn it and bust it, so what I did was I hung this thing down. I plugged the electrical connector in here and just left this right out here in the open. And I turned the ignition key on, and I made this thing turn until it appeared where I wanted it. And then I turned the ignition key off, and then I got this in the right position by that. Then I took it, and then I installed it and bolted it in. Now, another part that Ford says to do, which I did, is to calibrate these things. It will calibrate them, and this is how you do it. You have the key out of the ignition, first of all. You don't need the key on or anything. Then, like I said, here's the gas pedal, and to the left and upper, it's underneath the dash. Let's see if I can get it on film. Right here is a fuse box. And what you got to do, what you got to do is take the cover off. I'll take it off. And fuse 15 is what you want, not 15 amps. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the second one up, which is a red 10 amp right here. Right there is fuse 15, which is a 10 amp. And you have to take that fuse out and wait 30 seconds. And after you have fuse out, well, fuse 15 is a HVAC fuse, I believe. And you take that fuse out and wait 30 seconds. And then you put that fuse back in. And then you put the key in the ignition and turn to the on position. And then you wait at least 1 minute. And during that process, you will hear this thing turning. You hear this thing turning. It's very, you got to have the doors closed and windows up, that way you can hear it. And it goes, it's a very slight motor noise you'll hear, and it'll go one way and it'll go the other way, and it's going to be moving that door, and it's going to be calibrating, finding out its limit here and finding out its limit here. And then it will be calibrated. And then after that, then you can test the function of this after you do that calibration. And anytime you change one of these, you'll have to calibrate it. And that is fuse 15 10 amp. And that fuse box underneath the left, upper left here of the dash. Now, this is not the only actuator there is. This is a left-hand blend door actuator up here above the gas pedal. That's the left-hand one. On the other side, somewhere, I haven't found it, but on the other side is a right-hand actuator, same part number. And then there's even another one over here. There's your dash. Here's your glove box. You push these tabs in. I only got one hand. And you push them in, and the glove box just falls open. And then right behind the glove box, you can see there is another actuator. And that is the same part number again. And that operates another door. That's not a blend door. It's called something else. But anyway, it actuates another door. And I did the same thing. I had it plugged in while it was out, and I had turned the ignition key on. I let the thing rotate until it was in the right position. Turn the ignition key off, and then I was able to push it in there and bolt it in. And like I said, I plugged it back in, took the fuse out, waited 30 seconds, and then put the ignition key in the run position, and waited a minute, let it calibrate, turn it off, and then you can work the component. So anyway, that's part 2 for now.